My face with a brick and all these black men just watch and they don't give a fuck. Yeah, this man hit me, fucking grabbed a rock and he hit me in my fucking face because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just fucking watch. Y'all see that shit? Y'all see that shit? What y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man and fucking do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face. In my face with a brick and all these black men. Money in my life to deserve this. I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick in front of so many men and was like, "What you gonna do?" And I told all these men, like, "Yo, why this man got a brick on my face?" And he's holding a brick, and all these niggas is watching, and nobody does nothing. And he hits me in my face, and then they all just watch, and they let that nigga get in a car. How is this okay? This is what y'all doing to women?
I hate to say this, but I saw this coming about 10 years ago. Having some tea because I'm not feeling that great. I guess I had too much fun yesterday with the G-Babies. Listen, again, I saw this coming a little over 10 years ago. My daughter had to be between 18 and 19. I was still single, still out, kind of going into the, going out sometimes, and I would be flirted with, and I would, not be interested. I said, no, thank you, I'm not interested. And they started calling me out of my name. Okay, that didn't really concern me too much. But I started to hear, by the time I moved to Texas, I started to hear situations that young women were being not only cursed out because they weren't interested, but some of them, being assaulted, deleted, or whatever. So I remember when I lived in this suburb, and my daughter was staying with me at the time, or she may have been home for college, and she said, "Mom, these guys were driving by and they were flirting at me in the car." And I said, "What did you say?" She said, "I just ignored them. So at that moment, I told her, I said, "Listen, we are living in some different times." And that was about 10 years ago. I said, if a guy is flirting with you, I want you to be gracious, especially if you're by yourself. Be gracious and say, I'm really flattered. Thank you so much, but I already have a boyfriend. Instead of saying I'm not interested. Because no one wants to be rejected. But here's the thing. Now, if you're rejecting somebody, you could end up losing your life or being beat like this woman. And that is disgusting. I talked to my husband about it. He watched it. He couldn't believe it. These boys, because that's what they are, sat and watched that woman get hit with a brick. But I bet every nary one of them would expect somebody to help their mother, sister, cousin. Every one of them. And because I'm a mother of a daughter, I'm an aunt to nieces, those I've adopted and those who are biological. I am, I have friends. I have a mother. I have a sister-in-laws. I can't fathom them being out and seeing somebody accosting them and they're spectating like it's a freaking sport. The nerve. So what I'm telling young ladies is this, a couple of things. I'm gonna tell you like I told my daughters. And sometimes it may not make a difference. If someone is flirting with you, I want you to be just as sweet and just as kind. Say, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, but I have a boyfriend or I'm married. I'm flattered. Thank you. So I'm flattered. I'm already engaged. And let me tell you something. Back when I was younger, if I had rings on my fingers and I saw that somebody was approaching me I wasn't interested in, I would switch hands. Sure would. Because there are a lot of things at play here. And I have no proof of it. It's just my own personal opinion. Me and Mr. Randolph was talking about it last night. A lot of men, or man, children, are just as emotional as women. Why is that? There are a couple of reasons for that, in my opinion. Some of it could be linked to the food that we're eating because of meat meat is injected with all these hormones so they can grow fast. Okay? So you got that as a contributing factor, in my opinion. You also, who have many that are raised by their mothers with no masculine male influences. So a lot of times they see mothers act emotionally. And a lot of times they adopt that based on what they see. That's why it takes two, a dad and a mom, to balance it out. But because you have young men who might be influenced, or their growth, the development is there's interference with the growth and development due to the things that we're eating. Because me and Mr. Randolph were talking about it last night. These kids, we didn't have all these preservatives and hormones into the food we ate, because we were talking about how so many young people are so freaking large, and they shouldn't be in their 20s, but a lot in 20s and 30s. I think a lot of it has to do with the food that they eat. Of course, a sedentary lifestyle, but a contributing factor is food, but also the music. The music that they listen to, because a couple of days ago I said, I think I know why y'all stay so mad, because y'all music is trash. So when you have that kind of music playing in your ear, bitches, niggas, fuck this, I'm gonna do all that plays into your psyche. So when you go out into the world, that's how you interact with people. That's how you interact with the opposite sex. Because again, and also you add that to the fact that young people are not taught how to resolve conflict, how to de-escalate, how to effectively communicate, interpersonal communication, because most of the time y'all don't even look people in the eye. You don't know how to do it. When I was watching that video, I was literally had tears in my eyes. I'm thinking about my daughter. I'm thinking about my granddaughters, when they ain't no telling what. I have 3 granddaughters. Ain't no telling what they're going to be subjected to. But what I am telling them is what I am telling you, is what I told my daughter. When you are out, you be just as gracious as possible when turning them down. You smile, say, thank you, I appreciate the compliment, I'm flattered, but I'm already in a relationship. Don't just say I'm not interested, or don't say no thank you. Be just as kind and sweet, and they still might call you out your name. But again, live to fight another day. Live to not be disfigured, because that young lady could have been killed. And these men, boys, sat there and watched. And they said, what do you want us to do? The fuck? Another thing I noticed, I don't know if she was walking to her car, if she had been with her friends, but let me tell you something, ladies. Y'all need to be in groups. You don't need to be by yourself nowhere. Y'all walk each other to the car and then you drive to the other one. There's no way y'all need to be by yourself. Walking, out, none. And you need to be strapped. You need to be strapped, because if you can't trust that a man is going to be a gentleman and step in and then let the guy just drive off, then you need to be able to handle it your damn self and let the chips fall where they may. It's so sickening, because let me tell you something. The line of people I come from, the men that I come from in my family, oh yeah, they would have been dealt with. But see, y'all not teaching that these days. You're not teaching that these days. So ladies, be together in groups. If you by yourself, ask the security guard to walk you to your car. But you have to stop. Since we can't trust what they gonna do, we got to know what we gonna do. My heart goes out to this young lady. Take that with you.